Hi everyone, this is another session that we're doing a podcast all together, and we're trying to pinpoint the situation on the Italian tax credit because there's a lot of rumors regarding it, and we thought before the what we call the disposizione attuative come out again, we should consider explaining to our audiences what are the benefits of the Italian tax incentives for shooting audiovisual works in Italy. So the first call is for Ciro. So give me an idea of what is the latest situation in Italy on the tax credit.
And with regard to the Italian tax credit, so the Italian tax credit regime remains one of the most attractive regimes because due to the 40% rates that has been confirmed by the last Italian financial building, 2026. It remains at 40% only for the international tax credit. International tax credit means the works having foreign nationality produced in Italy by the Italian producing service company, the PSC.
Let's start with the big picture. Despite of our recent discussions and reforms, why should international producers still seriously consider Italy?
Well, Ciro, that's an answer question for you, and give the technical tax reasons about the fact that Italy has to offer beautiful locations and a nice way of living.
The 40% Italian tax credit on the foreign works with regard to the Italian expenditure. So there are other prerequisites offered by the Italian regime that are much more than money. Extraordinary location, world-class crews, post-production excellence, fashion and design integration, historic studios, and international production know-how that is very, very famous.
But Ciro, let me ask you something, because I'm sure Nicola has something to ask you also. But I've heard a lot of producers telling me that in Europe there are many other countries which have a very competitive incentive, like Spain, UK. That is on the paper, they say 50%, 60%. In reality, what is it?
In reality, it's different because I don't think that they have the same budget as Italy. As a matter of fact, Italy every year offers a budget of around 700 million, 600 millions. That is a very important budget. So that's why the Italian regime is very attractive.
Mainly, unlike some systems, there is effectively no per project cap, isn't it correct?
Yeah, the cap is not per project, it is per company. It's a yearly cap per company. As a matter of fact, the foreign producer may use different Italian producer to have different 20 million caps. As an instance, they can use an Italian production service company, an Italian post-production service company. Each of them have 20 million caps. So as a matter of fact, they may have 40 million caps.
Okay, now let's see how the system works. And let's explain something that many foreign producers misunderstand. Who actually receives the tax credit?
So the beneficiary of the tax credit is the Italian production service company, because the foreign company is not an Italian taxpayer. So the tax credit is a soft money measure, but it is a tax measure. And the beneficiary is the taxpayer. So it is mandatory that the foreign producer commits the local production to the Italian producer.
Just to make a comparison, it's not like Morocco, where the beneficiary of the cash rebate in Morocco is the foreign producer, not the local one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now we get at the controversial part. Decree 2540 of June 2025.
What happened?
The philosophy of the Italian government changed, is stronger from the Italian government because they have to challenge some frauds that have been occurred in the past. And they strengthen transparency and traceability in order to secure the funds destined to the tax credit.
Just to make it clear, do we still have, regardless of this more stringent situation, the strongest incentives in Europe?
I suppose yes, because the only change is the traceability and transparency, but the measure remains very attractive for foreign producers.
So, it's not true that Italy is abandoning incentives. Italy is trying to make system more controlled and maybe credible.
Yes, absolutely, that's true. As a matter of fact, I will introduce you some of the major changes. So the introduction of the dedicated bank accounts for each project. So all the financial flows must be done through for these dedicated bank accounts. All the invoice higher than 1,000 euro must show the title of the project. And with regard to the third-party service, so this must be documented with a lot of detail. And all these major formalities, as a matter of fact, makes the time for the ministry to approve the application higher. So compared to the 2024-2023, where the ministry approved the application in
blindfolded
2 months, 3 months now, I can estimate 1 year or 2 years.
And they've already been very late delivering the tax credit 2024, so now it's going to be even more.
Yeah,
because I heard they hired more people to check.
Yeah, because the scrutiny is higher, the formality is higher, the scrutiny is higher, and so and they need more time to review other applications.
But at the end of the day, it means that the producer is going to pay more interest rate for the bank for cash flowing the tax credit, correct?
Yes, that's true. Unfortunately, that's true.
It means rental houses, VFX providers, service suppliers, and that everyone must provide deeper documentation.
Yes, because these are third-party service, and they have to provide all this documentation requested by the law. But it's only a question of transparency and traceability. There is no modification to the amount and to the rates of the tax credit.
What is this fact of that the DGCA has employed powers and people to check? Does that mean that we're having on the sets people from the ministry checking the accounts? Or is that consultivo?
No, absolutely. Due to this deep scrutiny, they need to hire more people to check all the applications.
The so-called sheriffs, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I understand this is a major compliance shift.
Yeah, absolutely. Which
means producers must prepare files almost as if they are preparing for a sophisticated audit?
Yes, that's the right mindset.
So, what would you say today is the main attraction for foreign producers to come to Italy compared to, I don't know, Spain, France, UK, Morocco? We understand that timing is going to be the main issue. But at the end of the day, we still have the most competitive incentive, which is effectively 40%.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So
minus, let's be true, minus the interest rate that the producer will have to pay for the bank.
Yes, because to me, compared to the past, now the length of the process to the approval of tax credits is longer. And then if you want to start the production, you have to find the resources.
And let me ask you this, which is something that is always occurring when service companies are offering to be the box company. They say, we have on the cassetto fiscale, which is something that only Italy has around the world, which is a buffer of credit that the ministry allows the service company. We have like 8 million that with which we can cash flow the production. First of all, how true it is, and do you have to pay interest rate? Is that like avoiding going to the bank?
Yes, this could be a solution, but the problem is that due to the past frauds, so foreign producer must be very careful with this, and I would suggest a prior due diligence to this cassetto fiscale to understand if these tax credits are true or are false.
And due diligence is allowed only on behalf of the beneficiary of the tax credit, or can third people like us, professionals, view the tax credit?
Professional, absolutely.
Okay, let's speak about the AI restriction in modern production. So, another subject attracting international attention is now, for all of us, is AI. Italy introduces some restrictions regarding artificial intelligence in production. So, please, Ciro, explain us.
So, as a matter of fact, the Italian law has some limitation to this because they want to avoid that the AI replaces creative or artistic performance. The law requires some in-depth documentation and explanation about how the AI is used in the work.
So, maybe you mean that Italy is trying to protect human labor, human created labor, while still allowing technological innovation.
Yeah, that's true. So the Italian system wants to have more transparency also with regard to the AI, and they will increase the disclosure obligation.
Let's be very practical. There's a movie, and there are scenes which are difficult to produce because of cost. Producer says, let's do it in AI, for example, a crash or a burning or something like that. To what extent, also implying actors' faces and images, to what extent is AI permissible, connected to the tax credit?
So only some special effects related to the main actors is allowed. And the AI that replaces the creative performance from the authors, so is not allowed.
So how is the DCGA going to check? By declaration or by looking the final screen?
Both. They want to see the contractual clauses about the AI, and then they will use a major scrutiny compared to the past.
It may even be more profitable to use AI because you may lose on one side the tax incentive, but obviously you lower the costs.
Yes, it's only a question of to be careful with the AI, because if you replace some ATL voices, in this case the tax credit can be denied.
Let's go into post-production. To what extent AI is permissible in terms of tax credit in the post-production?
In the post-production is allowed.
100%?
Yeah.
So if I do in post-production, all the AI, visual effects, special effects, everything, that is still eligible as long as you do it within Italy, 40% deductible.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another question that I asked you, which is very practical, which is not in our list. If a production wants to be eligible for a tax credit, obviously it needs to be, first of all, Italian.
Yeah.
Does it need Italian capital, or can it be foreign capital?
No, the beneficiary must be an Italian tax payer. It must be an Italian company.
But in order to be eligible for the tax credit and file for tax credit, it requires 40,000 euros as a capital asset.
Yeah.
It does not...
Capital stock.
Capital stock. So could even be IP?
It must be evaluated by an independent appraiser.
So IP, library...
If the capital stock is granted in kind, it must be evaluated by independent appraiser.
Okay, so here's the final practical question. In order to file for application, it has to have the 40,000 capital stock. When? If I incorporate today, the last day of May, but I incorporate only, let's say, 5,000 euros as capital stock, and I incorporate before shooting, and I file for application tomorrow, do I need the 40,000 immediately before filing or before shooting?
Before filing.
Before filing.
Before filing the application.
That's very interesting. Okay. Nico?
So, as an instance, you can incorporate the Italian company in May, and then you can make the capital increase up to 40,000 euro some days before filing. In any case, you must demonstrate to the ministry that you made the capital increase.
Here's another very peculiar question I've been asked. The capital needs to be there constantly, or can it be there temporarily?
No, constantly.
So if some very sharp-minded person says, okay, I'll put the 40,000 and then a week later I'll take it out.
No. The prerequisite must be kept.
Okay. Nico?
So let's go to strategic advice for foreign producers. And so let's become a little bit more practical. If you are an US studio, streamer or independent producer listening right now, what are the biggest mistakes to avoid?
Yeah, I will suggest, first of all, do not underestimate preparation. Second one, choose your Italian partner, and partner means the production service company, carefully. Third, organize the accounting, and then never assume that the incentive is automatic. You must be careful about this.
So which means that the Italian ministry is now evaluating projects more, let's say, strategically?
Yes, the trend is this. As a matter of fact, we cannot say that the incentive is automatic because the strategy, we can say some strategy from the ministry about the quality, the cultural impact, the transparency, the economic sustainability.
So I think I would add, foreign producers should involve both legal and tax professionals very early in development. Now, after principal photography has started.
Yeah, that's true. So the early structuring is essential.
Can we say, after getting towards the end of our podcast, that Italy still has a lot to offer in terms of technical tax incentives, apart from all the benefits of being a wonderful country?
Yes, absolutely. So Italy for the audiovisual sector is more attractive. Not only with the tax credit, but also for everything that it offers. Landscape, crews, professionality. I suggest that is a very good regime for.
And let's try to undermine the rumors that have been populating various lounges abroad, like London, Los Angeles, New York, regarding our situation. In the past year, we won't say names, but producers have exaggerated costs, especially in post-production costs, or even acquired incentives without even shooting a movie. Is that the situation? Are we a country that allow this, or is it something that happens in all big systems and that we are just showing it?
You are true. This is what occurs in all the big systems, because you know that Italy is not a third world country, but in any case, also with regard to the cost, it remains more attractive compared to the US.
So, few last questions, Ciro. Despite stricter rules, are you optimistic about Italy's future And as a production hub?
Yes, absolutely. I'm very optimistic about the future of the Italian audiovisual sector because, especially for foreign producers, so the 40% rates of tax credits is very powerful.
From my perspective, as an entertainment lawyer and IP lawyer working internationally seriously, production should not fear stronger rules. Serious production benefit from stable and credible systems. Ciro, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you to you. It's what a pleasure.
It was a pleasure to be online with my colleagues Ciro and Nicola. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.